Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at something pretty interesting, and that is how to get your audio signal from your DAW software, your digital audio workstation software, onto like other applications so you can capture it and use it elsewhere, like Discord or like for me, for example, I use it for Twitch Sings. I occasionally like to sing on Twitch. And all that stuff, so you can add effects and everything. So what you're gonna need for this one, or at least what I'm using as my setup, is a Focusrite interface. These are pretty simple, just a little 2-channel interface. I have a mic plugged into it, and I have the output to a speaker down there, as well as I have my microphone. So that's just the hardware that I use. And for the software, for this example, we are going to be using Reaper. So Reaper is a free to use DAW, or at least like it's free for like 60 days or so, and then you have to pay for it. I've been using it for free for a while now, and I haven't really gotten any issues with it, and it's been fine. So to get that, we're gonna go to reaper.fm/replugs. I'm gonna put this down in the description for you guys, and we just have to go to download Reaper, and then download for your Windows 64-bit or download for your Mac OS. In this case, we're using a Windows computer, and I downloaded the 64-bit version of it. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna go back to that same thing that that same link that I'm gonna post for you guys, and you are going to download this where it says Replugs VST version 2.36 64-bit. If your computer is 32-bit, definitely use 32-bit. If it's compatible with 64-bit, though, definitely use 64-bit. With this, what you're gonna just have to do is click on it. Once you download it, it's gonna ask you to let's make sure our Windows backup. Just agree to it, and it'll take you through this process, through this menu here. You can have all of this selected. It doesn't matter. I mean, there's just like equalizers and stuff that you can use, effects you can use with Reaper. But click on this little plus symbol here where it says Restream, and make sure that Restream Stereo is selected, and then click Next and go through the entire setup. That's gonna go ahead and install it. Just install it on your default folder. Don't change it, because Reaper won't find it afterwards. Let's see, so I'm gonna cancel this since I've already actually installed this. The next thing that you're gonna do is you're going to go and download a VB, what is this called? So we're gonna Google VB audio, VB cable, VB audio cable. So this is like a digital input output software thing that allows you to like send signals over to it, and then you can add effects to it, and then another application can kind of catch that signal. So you'll just click here on download, and once you've downloaded it and installed, I would restart your computer just to make sure that everything works properly. The next thing that I usually install is going to be the Elgato. Let's go to Elgato here. So I go to Elgato and look for audio capture. Alright, so just go to your game capture for Windows, and install that. Next, accept, next. And then once you get to this option here, go ahead and install the Elgato sound capture. That's what I use. I don't even use an Elgato capture card, but the Elgato sound capture is just a little software that allows you to kind of like redirect inputs and outputs, and it also allows you to use it as an input. And you'll see in a little bit here why that's important. So I'll cancel this because I've already downloaded the Elgato capture software. So then we'll close up these. We have everything. Oh, once your VB audio virtual app is on, you can actually see it here. Cable input VB audio virtual cable. it'll be there as a selection as an input or output. And next, yeah, we'll close all of this. So the next step is going to be to open your DAW software. For, like I said, in this case, we're using Reaper. So I already have Reaper open here. This is what Reaper looks like. You won't have this option yet. It'll just be blank. But in order to just add one, you're just going to double click on it. So you double click, and it'll add a channel for you. Once you add that channel, it's actually going to look like this. Nothing's going to be there. Make sure you click on record arm/disarm option. Boom. And that'll make it live. Okay. Once you add the channel here and you see this, you can just click around it. It doesn't really matter. You'll see it down here as well. Go to the top right and then just click on that. And it'll bring up this Reaper preferences. Now you can go to like options and then preferences, but I mean this is right here. It's pretty simple to get to. When you get here, I use the Asio audio system, and then I select the Focusrite USB Asio. Now I also have Asio for all, but that's in case you don't have this Focusrite. That's a whole different thing. If we're working with Focusrite though, and you use the Focusrite audio drivers, the Asio drivers, there's 0 to no delay, so you can hear things super like immediately afterwards. So I don't really mess with anything else over here. So if you click OK, hello, it's like an immediate thing. There's no delay to the sound, and it sounds great. So then you can like live perform and all that. The next thing that you're going to do is down here, this is both of your channels. This is going to be your master channel. This is going to be the channel that you just created here. So for your master channel, I need you to go and click on any of these here. And if you can't see this, because it might be like this, just drag this up like this, and I'll show you all of these little options. You see how there's a restream right here. So what you have to do with that is you just click anywhere on here, and it'll bring up this menu. Once this menu comes up, you go to VST, and we're going to search for that Restream software that you just installed prior to all of this. And you can search, well, it's right here, Restream by Kakos 8-channel. Once you have that on there, it'll actually bring up another window. The other window is going to be this. I'll actually drag it over because, so if you double click on it, it activates it, and it brings up this window. So now Restream is on its own window. Make sure you keep this as default, no presets, nothing, don't change anything. I ended up leaving this default, but depending on your interface, you might have to like change what channels, how many channels there are. I only have 2 channels on mine, so 0 and 1. Keep this as enabled, and then this is gonna come stock like this. It's gonna come stock receive audio MIDI. Make sure you select on send audio /MIDI, and then send it through local broadcast. So if you notice here, there's broadcast and then there's local broadcast. Make sure you send it to local broadcast. So now this sits perfectly fine. Now it's broadcasting to just your local machine. The next thing you're gonna do is now you need something called OBS. You can use OBS Studio, or you could use OBS, Streamlabs OBS. I personally use Streamlabs OBS, and I'll drag that over now. This is Streamlabs OBS. I know it's hectic because of the you know, there's millions of views of the same thing. I'm currently recording on it too, so it's a whole thing. All right, so once you're in here, you're going to go to your live scene or whatever you want to use, and then make sure that you add a source. You're gonna add an input, an audio input capture. And that's what this is. We added a settings for audio input capture. And I selected my device as Line Elgato Sound Capture. And that's where that's important by installing that Elgato Capture software, because now it thinks that that's also an input. Now you can do this with any other. You can select any one of these that you are not currently using. Let's say you have like a webcam, like I have one here. I could use that webcam audio as well, the microphone for this. But I'd rather not have anything that I might be using in the future, or else it's gonna like cause me problems, and I don't want any kind of feedback or anything like that. So I end up just using the Elgato sound capture. Now I don't have anything plugged into it, so there's no sound that's gonna actually come from that. Click on done. Once you do that, now you're gonna go right click on that. Also I named my input, my audio input capture, DAW. It's just like you noticed here. Now you right click on your input and go to filters. There are two filters that you're going to add, and that is going to be the VST 2.x plugin. So if you go to this plus sign here, it'll let you select the option, and then all the way at the bottom it says VST 2.x plugin. You're going to select that. That's going to be your first one. Once you add the VST 2.x plugin, make sure that you go over here to the right and click on this drop down menu, and you select Restream Standalone.dll. That is very important. If you don't select anything, then it's not going to work right. This is going to be what you need here, Restream Standalone.dll. That's going to be your first one. The second one's going to be a gain. So if you go here, you add the gain, keep the gain on there. So that's going to add a gain, and I'll delete these afterwards. That's going to add a gain that controls the amount of volume or the dB for that input. And once you go to that, just make sure you go from wherever it's at all the way down to 0. That way you have nothing on there. Same thing with any kind of effects that you have here. Just do it like that, and then just unclick it. Let's see, done. All right, so that's good. So now your audio is going to appear down here. Once you get into the OBS and you turn on that mic, then I just turned off my Blue Snowball. Now I'm working on this mic. Now you can hear it through here, and I also have a live speaker behind me, so I can hear everything in real time. And you want that, because if you're recording and you want to hear yourself, you want to make sure that everything is live and there's no delays, because then that kind of messes with your head if you're trying to sing or if you're trying to record and some kind of like speech or whatever you're trying to do with microphone and software. And I know you probably heard it. There is reverb to this, so that's the cool part about this stuff. Let me change back to the other mic for now. There's reverb, so you can actually add effects to this. So I ended up adding a reverb effect. So you just click on Reaper on the FX button here, click on add, and it'll let you add different effects. You can play around with that. That's definitely something for another video. Next step is to go to that audio input that we just made, and we're for OBS Streamlabs OBS, we're gonna have to go through the settings area, but for like OBS Studio, you should be able to right click and find this. So we go to settings here, go to audio, and let's go to advanced. Actually, we're gonna go to advanced, and we're gonna go down to where it says audio. Now you see there's a audio monitoring device. The audio monitoring device it needs to be selected. That needs to be selected. It's going to be the cable input VB audio virtual cable that we installed earlier, and that's going to be all through here. Just make sure that's selected. Click on done. Okay, now that you've selected the monitoring device as that digital audio or the VB audio, we're going to go to the mixer up here. And like I said, in OBS Studio, you should be able to right click on something on your input, but for Streamlabs OBS, it's another option here, your mixer advanced audio settings. Click on that. This is going to show up, and this is all of your audio inputs and outputs that are currently in there, or audio inputs. You're going to try to find the DAW one, the one that we made, and you are going to go to the middle audio monitoring and select monitor and output. And once that's selected, what it's going to do is going to send the DAW signal, or the signal from our input that we made, over to the monitoring VB connection that we selected in the advanced tab in the settings. And from that point, and I'll move everything over because I think you are going to be able to see what I'm talking about. From that point, we'll bring up Discord, for example. Now, any kind of like software that you're using, you can actually select, let's see, voice and audio. You can actually select that cable output VB audio virtual cable as a choice for an input. So now any application that you want to capture that sound from your DAW, you can capture in OBS, you can capture it in Discord, you can capture it in games as well, just like the Twitch things. And I'll pull that up so I can kind of show you. And just like the Discord application, it would be the same and Skype and all that. You can go to settings, go to audio devices, and go to output device. Let's go to input microphone, and I can also select the cable output VB audio virtual cable. So now everything that's going through the DAW in real time is now being sent over to the VB audio selection there. And the cool thing about it is, and now since you're sending that signal, you can add effects to your voice. So you have equalizers, you have reverb. So this is with a reverb effect, and wait, hold on. Had to switch mics over. This is where with a reverb effect and an equalizer effect. So if I take reverb off, this is what it sounds like. So now you can customize your voice, equalize your voice, how you want it to sound. And you can sing your stuff in real time and still capture it in other software. And this way you can utilize it in many different applications, not just in the DAW. Since the Asio drivers made for, let's say, Reaper here and the Focusrite only allow you to use the Focusrite with that software, and it takes control of all of your audio. But with this method, now you can send that signal on over to something else and create more content with it. I'm laughing because I can hear myself with the thing. So anyways, so I hope this helps somebody out there. I hope this kind of gives you an idea of what you can do with it. I don't know if you're a singer, or maybe you're just trying to add effects to a recording, or maybe kind of equalize your voice so it sounds better in like a vlog or any kind of editing that you need to do to it. But this definitely is helpful in many different ways, and I hope that it reaches somebody out there where it kind of like answers the question like, oh my god, you can do that. So thanks again, guys, for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one, and please, to help somebody out there, share and subscribe. That's the whole point of these videos, is to kind of just get that information out. So take care. See you on the next one.